Welcome back to the Power of Progression podcast. As always, I'm your host, John Marrone. On today's episode, we have someone who I've been watching for a few months now on social media and excited to introduce to you guys. This man has been in real estate since 2002. He became a millionaire by the age of 23, but bankrupt by 25. And through grit, perseverance, and discipline, he's been able to fight his way back to the top and being the #1 RE/MAX agent in Alabama. He's starting to blow up on social media, and that's why I'm so excited to have him on a guest, because we get him before he actually blows up. And his name is Ricky Carruth. Ricky, what is going on, brother, and welcome to the show.
Man, thank you for having me. Good to be here. Appreciate the shout out. And yeah, I'm excited about this.
I love it, man. So I gave a little bit of an introduction of who Ricky is. Let's give it a little bit more in depth. Where do you come from, man? Give a little bit more of before 2012. Like, what did Ricky's life look like, and why did you decide to get in real estate?
Well, it's actually 2002 when I got in real estate. So here's the thing, man. Just quick story. I grew up roofing houses with my dad. My dad was a roofer. Mom cut hair, and started out like that. So, like, that's where I learned everything that I needed to know to win in life. Like, if you can roof houses and you can, push through, get on that hot roof every day down here on the beach, you can do anything. So, but I knew I didn't want to do that forever. So I went to college. I went to 4 different schools in 2 years. I failed a history class, and I said, college is not for me. I'm actually really good at figuring out what's most efficient. That's kind of like why I'm where I'm at, because like I stair step my way to the top, because I figure out what's most efficient and I'll do it. And then I'll find something else efficient and I'll do it. And so real estate is one class. Like when I finally realized that real estate was one class and to be a doctor or lawyer was like 10 years, I was like, bingo, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. So I got in the class and I was 19, right? And I was like, I got scared to death because the time frames, like you got to take the class and then take the test within a year, then find somewhere to work in 90 days, then take a post-license class. And I was like, whoa. This is way too much commit. Like, I don't know if I want to do this for sure, like for real. So, but I took the class. I barely passed it. I came back home and roofed houses for like 2 days. And I was like, all right, I think I want to try this real estate thing. So I went and took the test, and I got in, and I quit roofing. As soon as I got my license, I quit roofing. And like, I was like, I'm in the money. Like, this is it. I'm done roofing and all that stuff. So I didn't sell anything for the first 30 days. So I had to go back to roofing. So I'm on the roof and doing real estate at the same time. So it took me 8 months to make my first sale. So from there, I kind of got the hang of it. I started selling a couple a month. And then the market blew up. This was 2003, 2004. The market completely exploded. And I made about $1 million during that time. And, thought that was it, dude. I was done. I was retired. I was, living the life. I was driving Hummers and Cadillacs and like all this crazy stuff. Next thing I know, the market crashes. And I'm trying to hang on until eventually I lost everything and went bankrupt. I was sleeping on friends' couches. I was, sleeping in my car a couple of nights. I worked on an oil rig. I went back to roofing, all that stuff. So like during that moment in my life was when I experienced the most personal growth because I was so curious to how I failed. Like what decisions did I make that led me to losing everything and being from the top to the bottom? Like, how did that happen? So I was so hungry for knowledge and trying to figure out what happened. I read 100 books. I studied the market. I watched top producers, low producers. I watched the whole thing from afar because I didn't sell any property between 05 and 08. I mean, I was roofing houses, working on an oil rig, trying to figure out what to do. I didn't realize where I went wrong. So I finally realized what I did wrong, man. I was in the beginning of my career, I was focused on the deal. Like all I cared about was the deal. And there was no relationship. There was no I wasn't worried necessarily about how I could actually help this person. I was just trying to close deals. So when the market crashed, I had nothing to fall back on in terms of people and relationships. I didn't know how that whole dynamic worked. So when I finally realized that, I got back in real estate and just started climbing up. I started focusing on relationships, not deals. And I could go on and on and on here about like what happened during that time. Like, there were foreclosure agents that were killing it, and everybody was super envious of these agents because there was only like 2 or 3 of them that were like literally killing it. And I wasn't envious because these agents that were doing the foreclosures wouldn't answer their phone. They were just zero customer service. They were just taking orders from the bank, selling the foreclosures, and moving on. And I was like, okay, like game on. Like what I'm going to do is I'm going to represent the buyers of those foreclosures and create relationships with them. Whereas in 3 or 4 years when the market rebounds, they're going to let me sell that property, buy another property, and refer people to me. And then we'll see where the foreclosure agents are that don't answer their phone. And so by 2014, I was selling 100 properties a year. I was the #1 agent in the state, just a single agent. Like I don't have a team. It's just me and Christy. And 2010, the BP oil spill, like that hit my area super hard. That was a very down year for us. I made more money that year than I did the year before just by applying this principle of continue to reach out and see what I could do to help people. That gave me the confidence right there. When I made more money that year, that was my aha moment. That was when I was like, okay, I got this real estate thing kind of figured out. I'm going to take it to another level. Like I figured it out. Now I'm going all in. And so that's what I did, bro. In 2014, I got to 100 deals, 15, 100 deals, 16, 100 deals, 17, I did 129 deals, 42 million. This year I'm over 70 closed, about 30 mil so far. By
yourself too? I mean, this is all you and one assistant?
Yeah. And what's so crazy about all that, what you just said, is that while I'm doing this, I'm simultaneously, as one guy, building the fastest growing real estate coaching company in the world.
Yes.
I'm pushing out content. I'm making videos. I'm doing coaching sessions. I'm doing coaching calls. I've been, so last year, like the year that I sold 129 properties by myself, I also wrote 2 books. I also started this company. I started speaking, coaching, writing. And I started testing out to figure out how to actually build a coaching business. Because here's the funny thing about all this, dude. I never used social media at all until last January.
What? And you've grown tremendously.
I had a Facebook page, right? But that was it. I didn't have an Instagram. I didn't have a Twitter. I didn't have YouTube. Like I had a YouTube channel, but I didn't post anything. Like I didn't do any of it. I built my business on phone calls and emails, my real estate business. Like I built $1 million business on phone calls and emails. And so like last year when I started wanting to like branch out and say, okay, like I figured real estate out now. Okay. And now I'm kind of getting bored. I got to challenge myself, so let's do this thing. Like, let's be the #1 coach, real estate speaker in the world. Let's do this for a little while, see how that feels, right? So when I entered into that, I realized pretty quick that social media was the only way to really have exponential growth in that industry. And so I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. Something that I never really cared about, So it's just been a kind of a roller coaster of a ride learning all this. Now, let me give you just a quick little story of the coaching company. I started out charging, right? And so for about, let's just say maybe eight or 10 months, I tried all kinds of stuff. I tried 50 a month, 1,000 one-time fee, 220 a month, 300 one-time fee. Like I tried so many different things, so many ads, so many different things to try to make it work. And, what I realized is that what would happen is I would have 300 people sign up for a webinar. 100 of those people would show up, and then 1 person would sign up. And what I realized through that was that 300 people wanted help, right? 100 of them really wanted help because they showed up. But then at the end of the webinar, they're thinking, oh, Ricky's great. I loved what he said. I got a lot out of it and all that stuff, but I'm not going to pay him. You know, at the end, they said, okay, he's just another guy trying to get some money, right? So when I realized that, here I'm again trying to figure out how to be more efficient. I said, I'm going to go free. So when I went free about 5 months ago, I had 200 paying members. And the day that I went free, I shut all of their automatic payments off. It was about 10 grand a month coming in. I shut all their payments off. I had my assistant go through and just click all the little buttons to turn them all off. I went Facebook Live in our private group where it was only the 200 people, because I had a big public group with like thousands of people. And then I had the private group with just the paying members. So I went on the paying member group and I said, look, guys, I have a big announcement. I'm going free. Everything that you've been paying for now, I'm now going to give away to the world for free. And, you know, I didn't know how they were going to react, but it was so amazing how supportive they were. Not a single one of them asked for $1 back, because that's how much value I gave them. Man, there's people charging, you know, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $10,000 for 3 months, and all this stuff that don't provide anywhere close to the value that I'm providing these agents, and they know that. And so it was just an amazing moment to go through that, and then have those 200 people say, it's okay, we want, like, go Ricky, go, because I told them, I said, look, I'm going to go free because I can help more people this way. More people will be attracted to me because it's free, and they'll actually get to know me and learn that I actually do want to help them. And then it's going to help them. It's going to help their families. It's going to help everybody they know. I said, I can do this on a bigger scale. And I said, I can get paid on speeches and books and sponsorship deals and stuff like that. So don't worry about me. You know what I'm saying? Let me do me, and you guys just continue to follow the journey and just get everything you can get out of me. So, you know, that's kind of the thing there.
That's incredible, man. And I want to talk about the free thing, but you said something beforehand. You talked about how you used to, or you saw actually some people, what I call the sale and bail, right? And I think a lot of people listening to this, if you have clients or prospects and you sell them, what are you doing to stay consistently engaged with them, to continually build that relationship? A lot of people have this problem where their clients that they just sold are going to use another company, another product, another agent, whatever it might be, another salesman, the next time they repurchase the similar type of product. And it's because you're using the method of make the sale and bail. Whether you want to call it that or not, right? You're making a sale and you're bailing. So what did you do? Let's stay there for a second. What did you do to stay constantly engaged? I think a lot of us have problems because we're so chaotic in our day-to-day life. And how did you put a system in place to make it efficient and effective to stay engaged and really build these relationships after the sale?
You talking about the real estate clients?
Yeah. Let's just stay there, because I think anybody who's listening to any business could take that in.
No doubt. Like so my big secret with staying relevant is a weekly email. So my weekly emails went out every single Wednesday since 2007. And this is through hurricanes, oil spills, me changing companies, me being on vacation, me going through down moments in my life, you know, all kinds of weird stuff. Never, ever missed a Wednesday where this report went out. I create the reports. It's not an automated thing. I write the content. I write the articles. I create the pictures. I decide what properties. I do all the stuff for it every week. I spend about an hour putting it together because it's my baby, because that's what keeps me relevant with everybody, right? And so every week, every Wednesday, what happens is this. When it comes every single Wednesday, they realize how consistent I am. And then they associate that with, oh, he's the hardest working guy I know in the business. Oh, and he's the most knowledgeable guy. He sells the most. He's the most professional. And it like chips away at them, right, week by week, until they just subconsciously know that this guy is the one who I want to do business with. You know what I mean? And so like I'll talk to people that don't want to do anything right now, okay, like don't want to buy or sell anything. That's where the money's at. because those people are going to do something later. And if you can get their email, put them on a weekly email report, and then they call you 5 years later and say, hey, I've been getting your emails for 5 years. I'm ready to do this or that. Bingo. Now think if you had thousands of people, that you met or you talked to or whatever, and you get their information. So that's the main thing. That's the number one thing for me. And then from there, you can do all kinds of other things with their email. You can create the custom Facebook audience. You can hit them up on Facebook and Instagram. Now, those people are getting a weekly email from you. They see you on Facebook. They see you on Instagram running these ads, and not asking them to buy or sell, just providing value. Just here's a picture of my area. Here's an article on the area. Here's this, here's that. Maybe here's a listing here and there, but it's just providing value of what's going on with the market, what's going on with you, what's going on with the area. And they just know you. You're building brand with all that stuff. And then when they decide to do something, they're going to call you. Your job is not to talk them into buying or selling. They're going to make that decision themselves when they want to do that. Your job is just to be relevant enough in their life, in that niche of real estate, to where they recognize you as the one that they want to work with when they decide it's time for them to do something.
Staying on top of that. Basically what you're saying is any angle we can get in front of them as often as possible. And I think a lot of people want to do that, right, Ricky? But what do you do as far as a process-wise? Because some people get so tied down to their day, they forget to send an email, and that's even worse, right? You're sending it for a few weeks, and then it stops for a few weeks. So do you put it into your calendar weekly? Like, give me a little insight there on how you.
I don't have to put it in my calendar, bro. Like when Wednesday comes, the email is the main priority. That's it, dude. Like nothing.
So that's first thing on Wednesday. First thing on Wednesday, that's a must. It's been that way. It's engraved. It's now a habit every Wednesday.
Most Wednesdays. Sometimes if I have like an appointment, right? Sometimes I'll create it Tuesday and have it just ready to go out Wednesday morning. Or something will pop up Wednesday. I'll go do it. But I know that before the end of the day, I'm doing that email. Like nothing is more important. Like I don't have to write that down. And if somebody has a problem remembering that, I don't know what to do I don't know how I can help that person. If they're not going to remember something like this is the single most important thing in my business, right? I mean, that is the single most important part of my marketing, wing of my business. I mean, I guess the most important thing is making my calls, talking to people, stuff like that. But I can really do that anytime. This is the most important scheduled thing that's going on. I mean, I don't know, man. Like if they have a problem in that, bro,
I love it though, because the reason why I love it is because it's business as usual now. And guys, if you're listening to this, what Ricky is saying, he understands his priority. If it's weekly, if it's monthly, if it's daily, he understands that Wednesday, that's a priority. I don't care who you are, what we have going on. It doesn't matter if the wife and kids, no matter what, we will find time to make it happen. If Ricky's got to wake up early enough in the morning, he's got to stay later. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He understands that's a priority and nothing will take him away. So I think anybody that's listening or watching this needs to figure out each day, what is that priority that nothing is going to take you away from getting it done. So I love that. Let's jump into the coaching now. So you told everybody, which is crazy. I don't think many people, if any that I know of, have really said, okay, we're going free, completely free. And not are we going free from this point on? Anybody who's paying $10,000 worth, you now are having this system for free. I love free, but what I've always have found out, man, is that through free, people aren't as committed, right? And they don't have skin in the game, as they say. So what are the issues that you have found with making it free? Are you seeing a lot more people not doing what they need to do? Are you just seeing it kind of even out because you have a higher number of people in it? Give me some insight.
See, this works for me, and this is what again makes me efficient, where I can build the largest coaching company in the world and still sell real estate at the highest level at the same time as one guy. Because like being free, it allows a lot of different opportunities, right? Like for example, like there's no expectations, number one. Like I can tell you everything I know without saying, oh, I have to leave something out to give you a reason to pay. Like I don't want to give you my phone script because I want you to have to pay for that. I'm going to leave that part out. No, I can tell you everything. I don't have to worry about whatever I'm leaving out. And I don't have to worry if I have paying members that are paying for stuff and then, oh, am I going to mess up and say something that they're paying for? Like, I don't have to worry. On the flip side, if you do my program and it doesn't work, you can't come to me and say, hey, you suck. Because I'm like, no, you suck, because everybody else is killing it with it and it's free. So if you want to go pay $1,000 a month to learn how to do deals and not create relationships, go do it. Like, whatever works for you. But I think that here's the thing, man. Whether, like, if I'm charging, people are still going to say it sucks, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm free, people are going to say it sucks. So I'm not really winning or losing anything there. But where I'm winning is percentages. Like, because I'm free, a bigger percentage of people will try it. And so I'll have more people, I'll have more people that succeed. Like, you're going to have people that don't succeed, that don't want to do the work. Like, whenever people get in my program, I think, some of them realize, wait a minute, this is a lot of work. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think it was going to be like this. So, I mean, that's the flip side of it. Now, do they value it because they don't have skin in the game? The other side of that is I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not here to hold you accountable, right? The best way that I hold you accountable is I ask all the coaching members to post their call results in my Facebook group every day. And so that's how we kind of hold each other accountable. So there's a sense of accountability there. My Instagram posts, I try to make them as inspirational as I can, focused on real estate. And hopefully that keeps people going through the day, or if they need a little push, they see something there and it keeps them going, or what have you. So there's ways that I can do efficiently to where I'm reaching more people, that way. But, I don't care if people don't see value in it, man, because all I can say there is they haven't tried it. They don't realize it. Because if you actually went through the course and actually try to ask me questions and see that I respond immediately, and actually tune in on some of our live training sessions that are every other week, you'll know that I'm providing more value than anybody, period.
Yeah, there's that threshold, and then I get it 100%, because I've done things for free, lower cost, higher cost, and no matter what, you gotta be committed, right? You gotta be committed, and I talk about ROT and RO time, right? Like, what's your return, or ROT and ROI? What's your return on time or return on investment? For them, it's going to be ROT for you, and what's your return on time? How much time are they really putting into your content? What does your day look like? I always say the most important 4 hours of your day. The 2 when you first wake up, the 2 before you go to sleep. What does Ricky's 2 hours when he wakes up and 2 hours before he goes to sleep look like? Because you got a lot of stuff going on, brother.
I get up at 4:30.
Okay.
I do cardio at 5. I eat a big breakfast about 5:30, 5:45. I'm at the gym by 6. I'm powerlifting. I'm at the office before 8. So that's my morning. As soon as I get to the office, I'm going to take about 15 minutes and study my business for a second. Like, total silence. Nobody's really calling you right at 8 o'clock. Nobody's, really here at the office. So I'm focused on making my notes and trying to figure out what's what. That way I can be most efficient through the day and crush everything to the best. Every opportunity is being taken full advantage of, any opportunity that I have. And so from there, like, every second of the day is full with something. And like today, I don't really have any appointments except for I'm doing a live training today later in the afternoon. But other than that, I don't have any real appointments. So now I'm just going through my notes, and I'm calling people that I've talked to in the past couple of weeks. I'm searching for little crumbs of deals that I've fell through the cracks. I'm going through email. I'm looking for deals. Like, I have $7 million under contract right now with another $3 million in new construction for one of my developments, so about $10 million. And that $7 million is going to all close in September. I got 2 in October. But I'm sitting here losing my mind. Like, I'm going to have a $200,000 month next month, but I'm losing my mind because I don't know what October – like, I'm scared about October, Like, I'm like, where am I going to get a deal for October? I can't have a $200,000 month and then turn around and have a $20,000 month. You know what I mean? And so, like most people would be like, oh, okay, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a $200,000 month coming up. I'm good. You know what I mean?
Kick your feet
Yeah,
up, right?
like I can just chill. But like I already forgot about September a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even bring that shit. Don't even talk to me about September, dude. I don't even want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So
And guys, when you're listening to this, we're recording this before September. So when you guys listen to this, realize what he's saying is that he has a huge month coming up in the next 30 days. It hasn't even happened yet. But don't even bring that up because he, on his quote-unquote downtime, is searching for the deals, the cracks in his business to go ahead and make October even better than September. I love it, man. I love it. The last 2 hours before you go to sleep, I truly think those are important times for us to either self-reflect or just do something for us. Everybody has their own little method and their own little thing they do before they go to sleep. 2 hours before you go to bed. What's yours look like?
well, you know, being a guy that basically is running two, you know, really huge businesses, and I go so hard because I start at 4:30 and I'm just it's like hard in the paint all the way. I in the afternoons, like I may have a video I need to kind of work on, or a blog I need to work on, or something to do with the coaching, like as far as a video or something, some kind of project I'm working on, or whatever. I may have something going on there. I may or may not. It just kind of depends. Like last night, I didn't really have anything I needed that was pressing. So I said, so I made 2 Instagram videos, 2 little Instagram with the words and all that. And I made those, you know, like I made them because I didn't have anything to do. I was bored, you know. And then right before bed, like about an hour, I try to really just kind of wind down if I can, you know, and I try to get in bed around 9, and I drink a protein shake before I go to bed. And I just kind of you know, kind of reflect, I kind of take that little 30 minutes to an hour to really just try to relax for a second and really kind of think about what all's going on and just get ready to, you know, like I want to wind down so that I can get that good night's sleep so that when 4:30 comes, I'm ready. Like I'm ready to go to war.
I love it. I love it. And I think everybody has their own little routine. That's why I love asking that question. And I agree with you about shutting off, disconnecting so you could reconnect, you know, the next morning. It's funny talking about being a roofer, by the way. I didn't bring it up earlier. I did that for years, man. My father's a roofer. So talk about, you know, on the weekends in high school. And you're right, man. There's nothing. If you could be up on a roof in that heat in the summer, even worse when you're doing silver coating or you know, you got the sun beaming down on that, hitting back at you, you realize, first off, that is not what you want to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That goes into my next question of limited beliefs. We all suffer from them, right? We all suffer from these limited beliefs that we have in our life, and some we've overcame, some we have to overcome continuously. What's like the one big limited belief that you had to overcome, or maybe you have to still do it, and how? What process or tool did you put in place to overcome that limited belief?
Something I had to really overcome.
A limited belief, something that, you know, you weren't good enough, someone said something, the fear of failure, something. Is there anything that?
Well, I'll tell you, man. I don't, you know, like I've never been the most talented at anything, to be honest with you, right? I was always okay at stuff, but then my work ethic propelled me to the top. Like when I played football, I was not talented, right? But I got a full paid scholarship to a NAIA college in Missouri. You know, like my senior year, I was the man. You know what I'm saying? Because freshman, junior, sophomore, I worked my ass like I was the man. Like by that time, dude, I was lifting the most. I was running you know, like I was doing all that stuff, but I didn't start out that way. Same thing in real estate. It took me 8 months to make my first sale, right? And like when I tried to do a team for a second and then realized that was absolutely not for me, my thing is if you didn't sell anything in 6 months, you were gone. Mm-hmm. And so I thought back at the end of that, I said, shoot, I would have fired myself. Like I would have fired Ricky. You know what I mean? So like I've always not been the most talented, if you will, but I always worked harder. Like I outworked everybody, period. And on top, like there's 3 things. There's there's your talent, right? Then there's your work ethic. Then there's your ability to adapt and be efficient. And like I'm a combination. I figure out what works, what doesn't work. I'll tell you though, like I never really had a problem, but growing up on the Gulf Coast, it's a small town, 15,000 people population, 6 million people visit us every year. We're right on the beach, beautiful place, white sandy beaches, right on the Florida-Alabama line. There's palm trees, white sand, $1 million condos everywhere. Like in the wintertime, when the crowd's gone, there's nothing to do. So as a teenager, as a 20-year-old, you're going out drinking, you're partying, you're drinking, you're going with your buddies, you're socializing. And I got caught up in that for a while. It never really like held me back from being extraordinary, but it was holding me back from going to the moon, which is where I'm heading now. So for almost 5 years ago, I had a moment and I was like, I'm done with this. And I said, if I wake up to the next day, because I did so much, like I thought I was going to die. I said, if I wake up the next day, I'll never touch a sip. I'll never do any drugs. I'll never do anything. And I woke up that next day, like, I was like, what? Like, I'm still here. And I haven't touched a single drop. I haven't done anything. And that was really the year that I did, the first year that I did 100 deals.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's insane. And thank you for sharing that, man. I know that, it goes to a place where, I've been there, so I get it. I come from addiction and anger and, anything you could think of that comes with that lifestyle. So I get it. And I appreciate you being vulnerable. You had a lot of friends then, obviously, and you were doing what they were doing. And how did you separate yourself, and how do you do it now from the negative influences, people, places, and things, so that you can go to the moon? Because you can't, man, if you had these negative influences, whether they're doing it intentional or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a negative environment. How do you disconnect yourself from those people, even though they're friends, lifelong friends and family?
You just have to make a decision. Do you want to do this or do you want to do that? I mean, there's no in the middle. You're either one or the other, man. It's like, in life, you're either going up or down. You're not maintaining. So if, like in the beginning, it was weird because I would go to dinner, or I would do this or that, and they would offer me a drink, or they would see that I wasn't drinking. And it was kind of weird for a second, like there was a transition period for maybe a couple months where things were a little awkward. I would go out with clients, I would go eat dinner with clients, and, during that little couple month transition, it was weird when they were like, what do you want? And I'm like, water or whatever, and it's like, what? Like, people look at you kind of weird. But I will say that once you get past that little transition period, people don't look at you weird no more. Like I don't ever feel weird now when everybody's drinking and I'm not, or whatever. I don't feel awkward at all. Like, I absolutely don't care. I wouldn't care anyway, like whatever they thought. But dude, I've been to Jamaica twice. We've been to like hangout festivals. I've been to Mexico. I've been to all kinds of concerts and house parties and like family things and all kinds of stuff, where it was all around me, you know what I mean? But like, when I made that decision, what's so weird is a lot of people, they don't get how I did it without like AA and stuff. Cause like, I didn't do rehab or AA or anything. And there's like people I know that go to AA, and they're just like, their mind is boggled of how I just quit one day. You know what I mean? And I think I'm just kind of a rare bird when it comes to that. But to answer your question, you gotta decide, like, do you want this or do you want that? And so what I did is I basically quit talking to those people. I mean, it didn't happen immediately, but it didn't take long where now I have zero contact with those same friends that I used to party with.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. I didn't go to rehab or AA or anything like that either. I might still drink, but for my addiction, it was drug based. And I just flipped my addiction around. I think you probably did the same thing, brother. I think you looked at it and without even realizing it, like you understood you had to make a decision, but you also probably have an addictive personality, as I could see. And you've taken that addiction and you put it into something positive versus something that was killing you. So I applaud you for that for sure. So why do you do what you do? Like you work a lot, you're putting the time in, you're coaching for free, you're doing all this stuff and all the value. You're waking up at 4:30 every morning. Why do you do what you do? And then when you get into this slump, this unmotivated, because we all get there, this rut, as we call it, what do you do then? So like, what's your why and what do you do when you're starting to feel that bogged down feeling?
Honestly, I think my why is that I know that I have it in me, and I know that life is only so long, and that I just won't I just can't, I won't let myself not go as hard as I can, because if I don't go as hard as I can, then I won't feel right, I'm just happy. I'm just a happy guy. I just love life. I love waking up. I love doing all this stuff. If I just laid around or if I didn't live up to my potential and all that stuff, I would be very unhappy. Right? So happiness is my motivation. That's my why. That's why I do it. It makes me happy to be at the top of my game and to reach my full potential, whatever that is. My full potential may be nothing compared to other people's full potential, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to go as hard as I can go. That's all I can control. I'm just going to be the best me I can be. My overall goal with everything is a lifelong goal. When you create a goal, when you really think about what you want to do, it should there should be something in there that's going to take you the rest of your life to do it. It's not like I'm going to make $1 million this year, or 100,000 or 2 million or whatever it is this year or within the next 5 years, or I want to have 10 million in 10 years or whatever that is. It should be mine is I want to reduce the failure rate in the real estate industry, and that's going to take my whole life of push it as hard as I can. I work 60 or so hours a week right now. I'm trying to figure out a way to squeeze 5 more hours in there somewhere. A lot of people, they're working towards not working. They're working so that they can retire in 5 years, or they're working so they can, have some investments, or they're doing this. When you talk to people, why are you doing this or that? They're like, yeah, I'm just gonna, get this thing, put it together, and hopefully just live off that, and I'm like, that's horrible. That's your goal. That is, my goal is that 10 years, hopefully I'm working 70 or 80 hours, I'm never going to stop, I may do different things, but that's because the different things were something that I found was more efficient somewhere down the line to where I could help more people and do better in the overall scheme of things. You know what I mean? So that's my why, man, or, my motivation is just that I'm happy. And then, when I get in kind of a slump, because the slumps, I think for me come from two things. Either one, because I get up so early and go so hard in the gym and cardio, I make every once in a while I get a little fatigued, during the day here and there. I may have a day where, man, I've been going hard for 6 days in a row and, I'm just not feeling it or whatever. I'm still the happiest in the office trying to figure out who I can help next. So I may not be pushing the envelope as hard as I can push it on those days, I may not be pushing as hard as I can, but I'm still pushing harder than probably just about everybody else. Even on the days when I'm barely pushing, it's still harder than most people I know. You know what I mean? So when I'm in a slump, I just throttle back and I say, it's okay, Ricky. You don't have to go so hard all the time. Just kind of float through and just call who you can call. If you talk to 5 people or 10 people, or you do this or that, as long as I'm still moving forward. It's like when you're running. If you're running a marathon or something, you get tired and you want to stop, and then you almost stop, but you just come to a really slow pace and you just tell yourself, just keep moving. Just keep moving. I'm not really going nowhere real quick, but I am moving forward and I'm not stopping. that's what I do when I have like a slumpy day. I just say, just keep moving. You don't have to go. You don't have to sprint. Just go as hard as you can go where you're comfortable. We're doing great in the whole scheme of things. Let's just keep moving forward.
I love that.
I think the other thing comes from if I have a low amount of under contract stock, I start to kind of get a little freaked out. You know what I mean? Like I don't want like I don't like that. You know, like earlier this year, like our market is down 25% in number of transactions this year compared to last. The whole country is experiencing something like that, interest rates and all that. And so when that hit us in the beginning, you know, my under contracts were low because I saw it coming, but I didn't really make adjustments as quickly as I needed to. And so when it happened, then I made my adjustments and I just got I was like, man, what is going, you know? So even though I know, John, that business is unlimited regardless of the market, regardless of what's happening out there, it's always unlimited. It's all just dependent on how you adjust to certain situations and continue pressing forward to see what you can do to help people out there. You still kind of have those feelings if you're down in sales for a second, like, is it going to keep going? Am I doing everything right? You know, and stuff like that. But same thing there, man. It's just like, just keep pressing forward.
Yes, keep moving. I think that's crucial. And I love the analogy that you used about that marathon, right? You're running, and you slow down, but you don't stop, but you just keep going. And you know, just understand that continually moving will cause momentum, but when you stop, that's when it stops. That's brilliant. So this question here gets a little deep sometimes, and I ask people, and when you get to the end of your day, and it's the pearly white gates, right? And you see the man or woman sitting up there, and you know, God and whoever you believe in, what do you want him or her to say to you? Like at the end of your day, what do you want them to say to you?
Oh, you mean like the big guy? Like,
oh, the big guy, yeah, the real big guy or big girl, whatever.
End of the day, like the end of the day, like all the way.
Yes, very end of the day, yes.
Yeah, nothing much. Like, dude, I don't want no praises. I don't want nobody jumping up and down. I don't want none of that stuff. It'd be nice to hear him just say, "Good job, bro."
I love it.
Like, way to go, bro. Like, you did your thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did everything that you could do to help as many people as you could help, and that's what people are going to remember you for.
Yes. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to give you 4 words. All right. I want you to top of your head, not even think about it, just whatever comes to your mind. Tell me what you think about these words. It could be one word, it could be a sentence, but something that first comes to your mind. You ready to roll?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Failure.
Love it.
Success.
Overrated.
That's deep. I love it. Fear.
Holds everybody back.
Hustle.
My mantra.
Thank you very much, man. Those are good. I love the success one. Overrated.
Yeah,
man. Yes, because this is what the show is about. It's about the progression. That's the happiness, right? That's the success. It's not that landing spot. I love that. Thank you so much.
There's no such thing as the top, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's no such thing, man. There's no such thing. I did a podcast with a guy a while back, and I was telling him everything is a practice run. Like when you make your calls, like everybody's scared, like what's going to happen? Well, you're just practicing. You know what I'm saying? So like I did a talk in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. There was maybe 100 people. I've done talks for like, 400 or 500 people. Those are all practice runs for me for when I talk to thousands of people. And when I talk to the thousands of people, that's a practice run for me when I talk to tens of thousands. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, there's no top. Like once you get there, you're like, what's this? I thought this was the top. And like you turn around and like there's a huge mountain right there. And it's like, okay, because I made it to the top of real estate. Number 1, da-da-da-da-da. Well, now I just kicked myself to the bottom of the mountain and I said, okay, now you got to climb this real estate coaching mountain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, bro, you better put your hiking boots on, son. It ain't no joke. It ain't no joke, man. Because when I got into coaching, I was like, everybody's going to want to buy my stuff, dude. I sell 100 properties. I'm number one in the state. Everybody's going to want to jump on this bandwagon. Absolutely not, bro. It couldn't be anything but the reverse. I mean, they like it, but dude, if it were easy, you know, if like it were easy to get 1 million followers, everybody would have 1 million followers, it wouldn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I definitely understand that there is no top.
There's no such thing as a top, people. You heard it here first. I'm going to put that as one of your quotes on the podcast. That's for sure. All right. So this whole podcast is built on helping people be better today than they were yesterday, right? We talked about it before the show. And I'm all about like giving actionable things that people can implement immediately to go ahead and make that shift, to start designing the life they want to live. So what are Ricky's three things that they could take action on immediately to be better today than they were yesterday? And these three things can be in any order. They can be in any kind of category. But if you were to give somebody three things, they just ran up to you into, at one of your speaking engagements, and said, man, 3 things, give them to me now for me to be better today than I were yesterday. Go for it. And guys, get your pen and paper ready. I got mine, and let's roll.
I think the first thing is you need to get up at 4:30. I mean, that's when nobody's contacting you. That's your time for you to spend however you want to. You need to work out. You need to think about stuff. You need to clear your mind. You need to eat breakfast. You need to do all the things that you need to do, right, to where you can absolutely crush the rest of the day. Because when you start out like that, you feel so good about yourself, for the rest of the day, because you've already accomplished. Man, when I get to the office, I'm thinking, dude, I've already put in like 3 solid hours here. And most people aren't even, they're not even at the office yet. You know what I'm saying? So I think waking up really early, extremely early. I think another thing is if you're in sales, I think that whatever sales business you're in, whoever your customers are, I think that it's real important. I think too many people are caught up in the social media and in the internet world. Depending on your industry, of course, this isn't true for all industries, but I think it's really important to have voice-to-voice contact with with whoever your target customers could be, whoever the prospects are, and do not try to sell them. You want to ask them how the day's going. Are they enjoying the weather? Isn't it gorgeous? Don't want to take up too much of your time. But here's what I do. How can I help you? And find out what you can do to help them. Don't say, hey, do you want to buy this thing? It's this and that. Or do you want to sell this? Or do you want to do that? Or I think you should do this or whatever, Say, what in the world can I do for you? And then focus the entire situation on that answer. Focus everything on that answer. Capture their email. Do weekly emails, Facebook, and Instagram ads forever, for the rest of their life. Now you're relevant in that niche, and now you win. Right? I think the third thing is to find somebody like myself or somebody that is successful, like where you want to be in your business or your life or whatever, and don't listen to anybody else for 30 days. Go really deep with whoever that is. Like I've done the Grant Cardone thing, I've done the Gary Vee thing, all those guys, I've been through all that. And I'm telling you, it's life-changing to attach yourself to somebody who wants to help people, who is providing the information and giving you everything that you need, everything that's in here. Like I'm unleashing 2 decades of knowledge of losing everything in a crash, coming back, doing it wrong, doing it right. I'm giving all that away for free through my YouTube, my Instagram, and all my coaching and all my stuff. Find somebody that's in your industry, that's at the top, that's willing to share, and take 30 days to read all their books, to watch all their videos, and to go really deep with that person. So that's my 3 things.
Yes, nailed it, crushed it. And then the one you talked about, the first one, 4:30 wake up, I talk about it all the time, waking up on the F. So thank you for affirming that and just continually putting that on my audience. I think it is crucial. It is the time that you're least distracted and majority of people are most creative. So I appreciate those 3. And I know if people take advantage of just one of those, they'll be better today than they were yesterday. So tell us, man, where can people find you? What do you have coming up? Give some people some information on where they can reach out to you.
Well, anywhere really, just Google Ricky Carruth. But I'm on Instagram at Ricky Carruth, YouTube at Ricky Carruth, Twitter at Ricky Carruth, Facebook Ricky Carruth. 02diamond.com is where all the free coaching, the course, you sign up there, you'll get emails about the training sessions. I have one training session today. We're going to go through my listing presentation and all my mindset behind the listing appointment when I get there and talk to the seller. If you're a real estate agent, you want to see me make live calls, there's several videos of me making calls on YouTube. There's all kinds of content, Instagram, YouTube. There's a Facebook group, Zero to Diamond, all that good stuff. And I wrote 2 books, Zero to Diamond and List to Last. Zero to Diamond is the basics. If you're a brand new agent, that's a great book to get you started, like what's the right mindset for your foundation. And List to Last it will blow your mind because it's everything I learned through the crash. You know, it's all the stuff I talked about, and I really go deep with the mindset and actions. Like, this is what you need to do, not just the mindset motivational stuff, but actually tells you what you need to be doing, how you need to be doing it, and how you need to be living. If you want to be the #1 agent in your area, I mean, not everybody wants to be #1. You know, and that's on you. Wherever you want to be, you know, is where I want you to be. So hit me up. I get DMs, emails all the time. I answer all of them. So if there's anything I can do for anybody listening to this, feel free to reach out.
Awesome, Ricky. I appreciate it, guys. You need to go follow him. You need to go to his website and look, just see what he's doing, right? Just see what he's doing. And if you're nervous to go ahead and reach out to him, just stay engaged with him and see the content he's delivering, because today, who he is versus 12 months from now, you're going to see the growth that happens. That's why I'm excited to have you on. Do you want to leave them with any last words? And we'll wrap this thing up.
I think no matter what industry you're in, sales-wise or life in general, I think that when you lose a deal, when you lose a job, when you lose something that you thought was going to be there, that was going to help you financially, and you've lost it, I think that's the greatest opportunity that you can have, because several things happen. One, you learn something. That's a cliche thing. The second thing is the future time you just got back that you don't have to spend on that deal anymore. And you can go get 5 more deals with this new knowledge and this new future time. Time is our most valuable asset. And this is the only scenario that you get time back. And too many people sit around sulking about the one that got away, when they should be spending that time sulking. Instead of sulking, they should be spending it on progressing further, faster, bigger, you know, longer, harder, stronger. So I think, guys, if I could say one last thing, when you lose a deal, please, please, please recognize the opportunity that is presenting you, not the, not the disappointment, not the failure. It's part of the process. I lose deals all the time, and I love it. It's my oxygen.
Oh man, that is great. And now I got a few quotes I got to play with, see what's going to be on there. But when you're losing a deal, recognize the opportunity that's in there, and in the future time you get back. Ricky, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the value, the wisdom, the bombs that you dropped on myself and my audience. I really do appreciate you taking some time out of your day and away from that beautiful beach over there, which I'll be seeing you because I'll be in Destin in probably about 2 months or so. So I'll kind of swing by and do a little drive-by. But guys, make sure you go follow Ricky. Make sure if you have any questions, you reach out to him. Always, always share this out to somebody that if you think they can get value from this episode, whether they're in real estate or not, don't be selfish. Go ahead and share it out on whatever platform you're listening to it on. And be sure to subscribe, like, follow if you haven't already. Write a review. Now, it doesn't need to be about me. It's about Ricky right now and the aha you just had. So if you got an aha, please go ahead and rate it however many stars you think and write a review about it. Don't be a silent listener or a silent watcher. Go ahead, write the review, subscribe, and then send this bad boy out so somebody else can get the value. And don't forget to follow me at Real John Marrone. Go to my website, johnmarrone.com. And if you guys could do one thing today, one thing, it's take action on one of the things Ricky talked about right now and be better today than you were yesterday. But until next time, guys, keep creating the ultimate version of you, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Have a good one.